Hello everyone, Steve Wiss here, joined by Kevin Harper, and we're here to preview the final of the ICC Champions Trophy between Pakistan and India from the Oval. And, well, what a massive match we have in prospect here. I was reading an article earlier that up to 500 million people could be watching this game, Kev. That is how huge it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive game, isn't it? India and Pakistan are going to stop. I'm not sure it'll be watched by quite that many people, but for Indians and Pakistanis, this is the Ashes, isn't it? So huge game. Hopefully it lives up to the last time they faced each other in an ICC final, and we'll get a good game of cricket.
Now then, for everyone who has been following these podcasts right from the start, you will know that there's plenty of investment in the Indian team in many different ways. You backed them at the start of the tournament outright at a decent price, and they're obviously 1 to 2 favourites today. Just speaking about this match on its own, what do you think to that sort of price, and do you expect India to get the business done?
Well, they're no sort of price, are they? The one thing that we've seen in this tournament is favourites. Well, they're nothing like certainties. It's been a favourites graveyard right the way throughout. Pakistan have already turned over to supposed powerful sides in this competition in South Africa and England, and really and truly they did it with ease. Okay, we were kind of left short with regards to would they have chased down the runs against South Africa, but if you did have any doubts in your mind, they were answered in the way they powerfully beat England in the semi-final. For all England's problems and things going into that semi-final, Pakistan weren't bothered. They just cracked on and got the game won. And if anything, they're going to be stronger in this match because they've got Mohammad Amir back. From Pakistan's point of view, I think this game's all about whether they believe they can beat India or not. Obviously, they've taken an absolute toweling from them already in this competition. That's now 8 defeats in the last 10 games in ICC tournaments. So if they need to believe that they can win the game, I suspect the only way they're going to win the game is to bowl first and get stuck into this Indian side. But India know how to beat Pakistan. To be fair, England knew how to beat Pakistan. They just didn't go through with what you needed to do. But India are a confident side, aren't they? Defending champions, regular finalists in big tournaments, big game players in leagues all around the world. I guess from that point of view, they're the more solid side, most likely to win. But you predict and write off this Pakistan side at your peril.
Yeah, absolutely, you do. Now, Pakistan had a big advantage in the semi-final in that they were playing on a used pitch, and they certainly adapted to that surface far better than England did. But they're not going to have that sort of thing here. This is going to be a brand new spanking deck, isn't it? And you would expect it to be an absolute belter down the Oval.
Absolutely, I would, yeah. Fresh wicket. Been roasting hot in England in the lead up to this match, so I dare say the wicket will be a little dry, but outfield will be lightning fast as it always is down there. Short straight boundaries since that OCS stand came into play. I'm only expecting a high scoring game as long as both batting lineups step up to the mark. Far too much was made of that used wicket when England played against Pakistan. It wasn't that bad. England just made a pig's ear of what they needed to do. India aren't going to do that. India will get after the Pakistan spinners. You know that. That's exactly what England should have done. They just didn't pick the personnel to do it. And it's up to Pakistan to find a way to get through this Indian batting lineup, isn't it? This Indian batting lineup's powerful. The top 3 are obviously going to finish as the top 3 run scorers in the competition. But it's not just about those top 3. Yuvraj Singh went mental against them at Edgbaston. Dhoni is in good nick, and they've been going well in this tournament. They've not even needed to worry about Kedar Jadhav and Hardik Pandya. I guess the ultimate test in this match, and maybe the thing that will decide it, is how well Pakistan bat. The last 2 games, haven't they? They were very shaky against Sri Lanka. Should really have been out of competition. Thankfully for them, Tisara Pereira shoved butter on his hands and couldn't catch cold. And then they kind of almost free-rolled in a way against England and just blasted them out of sight. If they can have that attacking intent in this game, Pakistan are real runners. But all too often they go into a shell and play old school one-day cricket, and you're not going to win this game, Pakistan, if you play old school cricket. You have to play the game that you played against England. Get after the bowling, go out on the attack, be fearless, post 300 and get yourself in the game. 220 won't work.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's going to be a high-scoring match, and your first bet for the game is going to be over 58.5 boundaries. You think they're going to get absolutely peppered here, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just look at this India batting lineup; it's superb. You know, there was a lot of talk going into the competition. Can they do it in these conditions? I don't know why there was that talk, because they'd shown 4 years ago that they could, but there was that talk, and they have, and they can. The top three are run machines, and they're just so good. It doesn't matter where the fielders are. It doesn't really matter who's bowling to them. They're going to find the boundaries. Realistically, if they needed to in all 4 matches in this tournament, they'd have scored 300 plus. You know, the games that they've not scored 300 because they've not been chasing that many, they've been well on course at the time that they've won. You know, if they chased down sort of 180 odd against South Africa with nearly 20 overs to spare. The total that Bangladesh put up in the semi-final got chased down with the best part of 10 overs to spare. You know, they probably would have pushed on and got 350 in every game. That's how powerful they are with the bat. And the reason why they're so powerful is because, as I've been saying all through this competition, they go after the bowling. They go after the bowling in the first 10 overs. They don't let a single spinner settle. No spinner has taken what you would call regular wickets against them in this competition. And then at the back end, they've got so much depth to go blasting again. It's just almost impossible to restrict them. But Pakistan have been showing a little bit of intent in recent times with the bat, and that's a good thing. Ever since Zaman came in looking to be Zaman, he's really upped the intensity of this Pakistan batting lineup. He's got them off to good starts. More importantly, he's got captains worried. He's got bowlers scared. He's got fielders scattering. And that's the one thing that this Pakistan side need. That means then if they get off to a fast start, the likes of Azhar Ali can play the old school cricket that he likes to play. Babar Azam can settle into his innings and they can flourish from there. So it's very much on him, but he's a boundary hitter, and he didn't play in that first game against India in the opening match for the 2 of the tournament. And it'll be interesting to see the impact that he can make and the difference that he can make, because obviously Pakistan have got an awful lot of catching up to do based on that first game.
Yeah, he's suddenly looking like quite an important player for Pakistan, because, yeah, he's just going out there, and I called him the other day, didn't I? He's just a dirty slogger, isn't he, really? But he's getting the job done and causing havoc up there. He's 4-1 to the top scorer in this innings for the final. But the man that you fancy in the Pakistan order for that is Sarfaraz Ahmed at 10-1. You think ultimately it's an innings for sort of old hands?
Yeah, it's harsh to call him a slogger. He just plays attacking cricket shots. There's a difference. He doesn't go after every single ball, but when there's a bad ball, he'll make sure he puts it away. Yeah, Sarfaraz Ahmed, I mean, we saw exactly what we needed to see from him in what you could dub the quarterfinal or the final group game, call it what you will, against Sri Lanka. He's a really, really good player. If his team's in trouble, he can kind of play the rescue innings. And if his team aren't in trouble, he can come in and get on with it. Exactly what Pakistan will hope that they're in a position to do. Obviously, at some stage in this game, they're going to need their captain to step up, whether that's in the field like he did against England with a couple of tremendous catches, or whether that's with the bat. You would think they're not going to win this game unless he makes a significant contribution. Hopefully, from our point of view, it's with the bat. 10-1's just too big. He's going to bat at number 6, and that's if he bats as low as 6. He might decide to show himself up the order. I really wish he would do. But even if he bats at number 6, you've only got to look at the last 2 days in the Royal London One Day Cup to see the potential of what can happen batting at 6. Obviously, Tender Shah has scored a century. Stephen Mullaney scored a century. Ben Foakes nearly scored a century. Ross Whiteley scored 50-odd from 8th position. So there are runs to be had down the innings. India have been taking some good scalps at the top of the order. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sarfaraz comes to the party in a big way here.
Yeah, Sarfaraz Ahmed, 10-1 there, the top Pakistan run scorer. Well, the very best of luck in this final, Kev. There's a lot of investment, obviously, in India, and certainly in the Shikhar Dhawan outright bet as well. I do believe his lead is just 13 runs heading into the final, so hopefully he can outscore Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. A big 40-1 price. And as I say, best of luck with the final bets as well. Let's hope it's a cracking spectacle, and from our point of view, that India come out on top. So very best of luck, and thanks for your thoughts on these Champions Trophy podcasts.
Cheers, Steve. Enjoyed them all. Hopefully we get the reward that we're looking for with a good game and good results on Sunday.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.